So I'm out here today at the barn where we filmed End on End for the music video. And this is my parents' property, and they're actually selling this place. So I wanted to come back out here and shoot some more videos. It's been a while. I've been meaning to do some lyric video discussions, so I felt it was appropriate to come out here and do that today for End on End. So we'll talk about all the different parts of the lyrics, and I also wanted to talk about a bit of the songwriting. So let's talk about songwriting first. Some of this I'll be able to break down a little bit when I do some mixed breakdowns, but as far as the approach to this song, like a lot of songs, I came up with the chords first. So I'm always writing guitar parts and strumming along to stuff and just finding things that I think are cool or I feel have a good potential for melodic changes over them, which is a little backwards from what other people do. They a lot of times come up with melody first. But for me, like just plucking around the guitar, like inspires a lot of the melody that I hear then. So this pretty much came from some of that. The chords are really simple. It's just pretty straightforward, but I felt like the vibe, the groove and everything, the upbeat strumming of the chords really lent itself to something. So I kind of ran with that as the general vibe of the song. And because it sounds so kind of like country Americana-y, I did some stuff that lends itself to that style. But then I wanted to break away from that. I didn't want to keep doing that and go further into that. So with the breakdown, I went to that surf rock part and I switched up chords completely. I went to a couple chords that I don't use the rest of the song. And it really, I think, helped break the song up, make that part stand out, and then allowed everything to come back in so strongly as it does back to those main chords when it goes into the solo part. So I think that's a really important aspect of songwriting, is the dynamics and the flow and transition from one part to the other, and how you're building a lot of that suspense and tension to be released and to just kind of really just rise pretty much. Like the whole song should be pretty much building in a way where it keeps you interested, is what I feel anyways with my songwriting. Not all songs have to be that way, but at least with a song in the rock genre that I'm going for, I feel like that's important. So aside from that, there's a couple little tags in there that I do with the guitar parts. A lot of that I've talked about in the Teaching Tuesday videos that I've done. So check those out if you want to see a little bit more about those parts. But those things are important too, having like little unique tags that stick out and then you can kind of repeat a little bit or vary throughout the song. Those are also really important to use. And then at the very end, I did something where I threw in an extra one on top of everything else, because I just had this other riff and I had to use it, and it ended up, I think, being really cool and just really sticking out at the very end. So it helped push everything through to the end, which is really important because sometimes things can maybe die off a little bit if you aren't carrying that energy through the end past your last chorus or big moment. So yeah, that's pretty much my approach to that songwriting, at least. I didn't do anything too special with like the bass, other than I wanted to do a little bit of tasteful licks and then pretty much just support the rest of the song. Drums, Brett did an awesome job of coming up with a cool beat that was kind of in the vein of what I was thinking of, like kind of something upbeat on top of things, but then not constantly the same thing. He did a great job of switching that up. So that things like that add variety to a song that's so otherwise very simple, I think are really important in songs that are very simple, to just break them up and make them a little bit more interesting. Otherwise things get to be just really bland, and no one wants that. So don't be bland with your songwriting and with how you're recording. Try and just do a bunch of stuff and then pare back from there and just use the essentials and stuff like that. So